guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I bring to you the Mizutsune pre-release guide, elemental weaknesses and attack patterns. This video analyzes the first Leviathan coming to Monster Hunter Now. We will take a look at Mizutsune's possible weaknesses, and we will also take a look at its attack patterns that we will likely see in the game. First, we're going to start off with the paid ticket event cost in US dollars. It is $6.99 United States dollar for the paid ticket. Now here's the thing, this ticket may be more expensive depending on what country you live in. For some it will be more expensive, for some it won't. Well, I think $6.99 is the standard, and then again depending on which country you are in, it will be either a little more or a lot more. I've seen as high as like $12.99 for Australian dollar, but not sure how that converts. Honestly, I originally anticipated it would be at least $10, and boy, was I glad I was wrong. That's a steal. For everything this ticket gives you, it's really cheap in comparison. And we're going to go over a lot of the benefits, etc., and make some comparisons later in this video. Alright, now let's look at the total calculated value of the ticket bonuses. So, what value do you get out of this? Well, number one, you get 50% increased access range on the field, which cannot be combined with a Wander Orb or Wander Droplet. So if you're going to try to get fancy and boost your range even more, sorry, it's not going to work. However, here's the value. So one Wander Orb is 480 gems. You times that by 2, you get 1 hour. And it's literally like 1 minute below 27 hours. So we're just going to go to 27 hours. You get 27 hours, which is the duration of the event. If you do the math, that is 25,920 gems. If we put that in US dollar value, that is over $229.98. $230 to be exact. Number two, you have no waiting times for Huntathons or Elder Dragon interceptions. So let's assume you do like 20 plus hats / Elder Dragon interceptions in that time frame. Your value is 20 times 300, which is 6,000 gems. With your total value being more than $49 or $49.99 to be exact. So it's really good. So does that mean the ticket is worth it for the value? Yes, yes, and yes. With a 50% boost alone, the value of the ticket is worth more than 32 times the value of the ticket. So you spent $6.99, well guess what? That 50% range increase alone, 32 times the value. And that's not even including the Huntathon / Elder Dragon interceptions you can do. Literally doing just 3 hats / Elder Dragon interceptions will pay for the ticket itself. I fully anticipate you doing a whole lot more, and because you have global matchmaking for hats and Elder Dragon interceptions, you don't really have to worry about your potions. If you really want to roll around, it's very likely that hunters will carry you, except for Elder Dragon interceptions. Make sure you know what you're doing, and I hope you have that good amount of experience to take on Kushala Deora by now, and that you can contribute to the fight, so that you avoid using potions, and you maximize the amount of time you have for this ticketed event. But yeah, just doing 3 of those will literally pay off the ticket itself. Along with things you could put a value in, here are additional ticket bonuses. Now these bonuses, you can't really put a value on them, they're just a feature of the ticket, but it's something to consider. Nightshade Palumu will appear on the field during the ticketed event. You will also have boosted Mizutsune spawns. In addition, large monsters will reappear after 30 minutes, and quests that will give you even more rewards will be available. So you're gonna get even more rewards that will give you value towards this ticket if you are able to complete them during the paid ticket event time frame. But what about Pokemon Go? Well, I actually played Go Fest this weekend with my friends, and I'm gonna play the next day tomorrow, which is this day the video gets released. But yeah, I did play Go Fest. I didn't buy the ticket, but I did the experience. So you still get a lot of stuff even though you don't have, and I had a ton of raid passes left over, so wanted to help out my friends, and we had a great time. But here's comparing the Monster Hunter Now tickets to Pokemon Go Fest Global Tickets 2024. And here's an important note, I'll only be comparing features that are relevant to the similarities between both Pokemon Go and Monster Hunter Now. In Monster Hunter Now, you don't have trading, so I'm not going to put trading in here as a benefit, etc. So we're first going to start out with the cost of the Go Fest 2024 Global Ticket, which is $14.99 US dollars. You have an increased shiny chance, which is a special Pokemon variations. It's just a different color of a Pokemon. Literally, that's all it is. Doesn't do anything else special. You have unlimited remote and local raids, but you only get 18 free raid passes. So you only get 18 free local raid passes. In other words, you have to be in person to use these 18 free passes. And for Pokemon Go, you have no global matchmaking. You must invite friends and use a remote raid pass if you're trying to invite someone from far away. So that's the caveat. Even if you have those 18 free passes, guess what? You got nobody to play around you. You need to do remote raids, but you must spend money on the remote raid passes because you're not going to get any free remote raid passes for buying the Global Go Fest ticket. Speaking of the Global Go Fest ticket, here's why Monster Hunter Now's ticket is better than the Global Go Fest ticket. For one, it costs $8 less than the Go Fest ticket. It's $14.99 versus $6.99 US dollars. It's comparable because both are 2 days long. Now with the Go Fest ticket, you got more bonuses, but if we're talking about the actual weekend, the playtime weekend, this is what we're comparing it to. And it costs $8 less. You're also guaranteed to see Mizutsune and Nightshade Palumu in the field versus Pokemon Go, having you play during certain hours for Saturday and then an oversaturated field on Sunday. What I mean by this is on Saturday, every hour, there's a different rotation of Pokemon. Unlike Monster Hunter Now, where you're going to see both Nightshade Palumu and Mizutsune in the wild, the two big ones you're looking for, and they're going to be available all the time. You're not going to have to do this whole like, oh my gosh, guess this, guess that. And for Sunday, it's going to be the same exact thing. Versus for Pokemon Go, on Sunday, the field is just full of all the shiny Pokemon. So if you're looking for one specific Pokemon, you're going to have to look for one Pokemon in a pool of all the other ones that will be out on Sunday. Along with that, you have unlimited Hunt-a-thon / Elder Dragon interceptions with global matchmaking. Unless you have a group to play with in person, you aren't going to be able to use the 18 free daily passes from the Go Fest ticket. You have to buy remote passes and invite friends to complete raids for Pokemon Go. I was able to complete raids with my friends because we drove around and we had literally huge amounts of players / spoofers around my community. Guess what? That's the polar opposite for Monster Hunter Now. But in Monster Hunter Now, we don't need to worry about that because we have global matchmaking. So whenever we enter HATs / EDIs, which are short for Elder Dragon Interceptions, guess what? We can play solo. I go in there, I search for group, and group is given to me, and then we roll and complete said Elder Dragon Interception or Hunt-a-thon. However, there is a big X factor for Pokemon Go versus the Monster Hunter Now ticket experiences. And that X factor is healing items and resources. The thing about it is, in Pokemon Go, you can spin stops and gyms to restock on Pokeballs and healing items. The big word is healing items. In Monster Hunter Now, you only get 5 free first aid meds a day. Otherwise, you must wait to heal or buy potions to continue playing. However, the potion issue is only really a problem for solo players. Group players won't have to worry much about healing items. Likely, you will have hunters that can carry you if you're in a group hunt, so you don't have to worry about it. Like if you're around in a group hunt in an area like Singapore, Hong Kong, or Japan, you probably have a bunch of hardcore players out there that can help the little ones, or the ones that are just starting. And this is really the big thing about it, is the healing items. Potion issue again for solo players, not so much for group players. But the thing about solo players is, assuming that you are well equipped to take on Mizutsune and Nightshade Palumu, you should be okay. So it shouldn't be much of an issue with you. Me, I have Black Dialis Bow at grade 10.5, and I have a Zinogre Light Bowgun at 10.5. Both maxed out. I have the builds. In other words, you did the prep, you put in the work, you should be ready. Ranged users will have a much easier time saving potions versus melee players. That's really just the name of the game. I'm all about efficiency and using the best weapons as much as I can, and that's why I built those weapons. Players who are not prepared and play casually / occasionally will struggle to maintain resources during this event. If you're a defensive-minded player, or you use a weapon per se, like let's just use the Lance for example. The Lance is a very defensive thing and doesn't exactly do much at all in comparison to the other weapon types. Yeah, it was buffed, but it still isn't that good in comparison to something like the Bow or Light Bowgun, which are S tier weapons. Or if you're a player that's really good with like the Charge Blade, the Sword and Shield, Longsword, etc. Again, if you play casually occasionally, not good. If you're an expert with your weapon types and you know monster attack patterns, or if you're really good at adapting to them, you'll do great. So that's just the nature of the game. Yeah, put a lot of work in, you're gonna do really well. If you didn't, of course you're gonna talk about struggling. You know why? Because you aren't that great. You aren't that good. That's just what it is. And you don't have all the best weapons and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's the field you're gonna have to face when you're in this event versus someone like me who's hardcore and has a lot of stuff prepared or has worked a long time to have that stuff prepared. It is unlikely newer/beginner solo players will be able to take full advantage of this event. Again, all that stuff I just said, that's the reason why. And you can still buy the event or the ticket if you're in a group stage. For example, if you're in a group, by all means, high population area, buy this ticket. A lot of people will likely be nice to carry you, or you're going to play with a group of friends. Not a problem for you. And in closing, the get good argument really applies to whether or not you will be able to have a good experience for the ticketed event if you are a solo player. Monster Hunter now is not geared towards solo players. That's the reality of it. I'm probably the only one that talks about this because I have an understanding. If you look at the amount of money spent, etc. for the game, Japan has like, I believe it's like 75% as of the March data. It's probably even more now, but it's not geared towards solo players. And here's the thing. Japanese players or players in high population areas, they're getting stronger. So it's not likely they're spending potions because you already have a bunch of overpowered hunters in one area. Better hunters get, especially if they're in a group, you spend less potions. So if you're a solo player, guess what? Unless you are absolutely grinding out of your mind or you're well prepared like I am, you're not going to do very well. And that's just the reality of it. So yeah, some things you might not have known, but if you aren't good at the game, you probably don't know that anyways. Just saying. This really highlights the struggle of not having remote hunting for solo players. Large communities have an unfair advantage over smaller communities. Monster Hunter now, Niantic, Capcom have done a great job to really put in the solo players or help solo players with stuff like global matchmaking. But the thing is, it's just to serve what it is. Larger communities do have that unfair advantage. Hopefully, future paid ticket events will include more first aid meds and additional healing items to allow solo players longer playing times if they run out of healing items and can't play potions. Because you're going to have to wait if you ran out of potions, etc. until you're at 30% HP to continue playing. I'm not trying to be mean, that's just the reality of it. If you suck, you suck. If you're good, you're going to be good. That's just how it is. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I hope you're going to have fun with this event regardless. Hopefully you have a group of friends that you're willing to play with. Or if you're a solo player like me, you're ready, guns out, all of the OP gear that you built and prepared over for this particular event or for future events is going to help you out. So, again, good luck. Hopefully you're going to have a great ticket experience, and I wish you all the best of luck in your drops. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.